Trust 3 was established in 1989 in Bahrain, and we take pride that we are actually established in Bahrain. Bahrain is one of the leading markets when it gets to insurance and reinsurance. It's actually a pioneer especially in the GCC region, to say the least. In 1989, the company was established. It's a privately owned company by a holding company called Nest Investment, which in turn is owned by Abu Nahal family, and they are specialists in insurance and reinsurance. This is how they started their business. We actually do value this, as well as our partners value that, because we have a family that understands the business, and it's not only a capital provider, but it's actually has passion for the business and understands it well and wants to develop it. And the vision, obviously, from the company is to become the reinsurer of choice, not only in this region, but outside of this region. We started mainly focusing on oil and gas business. This is how the company started in 1989. So we used to deal with business coming out of Qatar, out of Algeria, out of the Middle East. And with the growth in the company and the potential that has grown in the region, specifically in the Middle East and North African market, the company started writing other products and other lines of business. So that includes what we call inward reinsurance, أو اتفاقيات التأمين, plus facultative business, أو اللي هي الاتفاقيات الاختيارية اللي هي دخلت موضوع يعني in property, in construction, marine business, marine hull business, liability business, surety bonds. Now we've started aviation, etc., etc. I mean, you can go on in certain lines of business. So that's how the company started, and it's developed. It has grown with the region. As the region has grown, the company used to do global business, but then we are focused now more on Afro-Asian business, Russian and CIS business. And we've done excellent in the past 7 to 8 years to come where we are right now as a company. And we continue to develop. We have a vision from the shareholders to the management is we are to become a reinsurer of choice, and I think we are reaching our goal, the least to say, in this region. There are a few factors that items that any company requirement has to tick them to actually reach the intended vision. Obviously, the first one is we are a financial company, so we need to have financial security for our clients. They need to believe that we are able to pay their claims, to carry the liabilities we have on our balance sheets. We are going to honor it, not just now, but even in the future, because we are in a business of continuity. You know, insurance is not an opportunistic business. It's a business driven by relationships, by trust, by client service. We are a client service driven company. So the company has capitalized itself. If I look back, I joined the company in 2002. We had a $15 million capital. Today we have 200 million. Okay, and that is to support the growth the company is going through and the future prospect. We are rated by 2 top rating agencies in the global economy, which is S&P, Standard & Poor's, and AM Best. We're rated by both of them as A- in terms of insurer credit rating, but in terms of financial security, we are AAA rated. So our ability to honor our liability, this is the highest rating that they can provide. Okay, and obviously this has given Trust 3 a good springboard in terms of since 2007. This is when we achieved our AM Best rating, to go out, achieve more business, feel more, our clients feel more secure doing business with us. But that's not the only thing. We invested a lot in human capital. Okay, and as much as financial security is important, having the proper human capital and investing into that capital for future is even more important. Okay, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you go out, you have a lot of companies that have financial security. Okay, but some of them have the proper human capital to provide the client with the service and the solutions, and some of them don't have that, which makes them really not competitive in the market. Okay, so your competitive advantage is really benchmarked against your human capital. We started investing in young generation. Even if you look at our executives today, most of them are young. They started in the company maybe 14, 15, 16 years ago, and they grew up with the company. We know the culture, we know the values, we try to maintain it, and we want to maintain it. As much as we are going, we are fixated that, we don't change our culture and values on how we deal with our business. Okay, and this is very important. The reason why Trust 3 set up in Bahrain is because of regulator. Okay, because we at that time, and we still do believe, Bahrain has one of the best regulators in the region. They understand our business. They're open to discussions. They understand why we need to do things. They have left the freedom to the insurance companies on how to run their business. We have our boards, we have our management, okay? Because sometimes you don't want a regulator running your business, okay? You need that space. The regulator's job is to make sure that you are complying with the legal requirements of the country. You're not doing anything wrong in terms of anti-money laundering, in terms of the clients that you're dealing with. You're not breaching any international agreements, etc., etc. And that's what the regulator does. It does the licenses, make sure you got proper processes, systems, procedures. That's all in place. Have that in place. But where the regulator needs to come in is he needs to make sure that the insurance sector or any financial sector does not risk the failure. Okay, and that the regulators have to be proactive in doing so. I think Bahrain they are. In Bahrain they are proactive in looking at what's happening in the market and whether they need to intervene or not. And I think Bahrain is still a healthy insurance market, still a very profitable market, and we foresee it to be the same. There is obviously a lack of economic growth, but I think things eventually will pick up again. That's not an issue. We actually send people now to work with some of the regulators in other countries and to tell them, how to run enterprise risk management. Okay, when you are at that level of thinking, when you make risk management inherent in your culture, okay, the way you look at things becomes different. So when I am approached with any opportunity or any challenge, I look at it as a risk. I don't look at it as money, and I don't look at it as loss. I look at it as a risk. Is it a risk I can manage and try to kind of leverage against or not? When you have that risk culture embedded into your company and your organization, you become a completely different player because you think differently from others in the market. Okay, so today Trust 3, when we get compared to against the market, we're compared against the global player. Although we're not a global player, our size is still, almost close to $500 million of revenue, but we get compared to people who are in excess of 2 billion and 3 billion of income, and which have much bigger global spread. And history, some of them 50 and 100 years old company. But it makes us proud that we are seen in the market as a competitor to these companies, and that we are able to provide the same solution, if not a better solution, in some of the lines of business. I've used the Capital Club facilities in Dubai. I've personally went to the Singapore one of different places. And what I really enjoy is that the people that you see there are they contribute. They add value to what you do from a different perspective. If you want to get to know something about a different industry, you can speak to these people. That's beside obviously the the entertaining part of Capital Club. The environment that is present, the facility that is here for us as business professionals. Like we're sitting here, it's a good environment to sit down and have a discussion, but at the same time enjoy our time and have fun. It's good value. I have memberships in other clubs, but I think there's a big differentiator when it gets to the Capital Club as a capital.